This person looks like Woody Allen after 6 doses of the Pfizer vaccine.
He just needs 10 more. He just needs 10 more. He'll be okay.
This is the golden era of Chen WEIHUA.
I thought
he has some absolute bangers. Oh my goodness, he's still tweeting. And he called Senator Ben Sass, Senator sucks nuts. And he said, Senator sucks nuts. He said the US should launch a massive information campaign. Haha. The US has been conducting massive information and disinformation campaigns, such as CNN. Oh man. Europe.
No, they're coming back to stop the US from doing something terrible, and that's why you see more aliens in the US.
Time travelers will be like, "Fuck Italians." No, Susan, I bear absolutely zero hate towards Italians. I love them. I love Italians to bits. At least she's not an alcoholic like the previous guy. What was his name?
You having a go at me?
No,
Donald Tusk.
No, not Tusk.
You what, mate?
Oh,
you
fuck.
what, mate? I don't think Jordan Peterson's done any sort of speech there yet, because I think.
Why hasn't there been like an initiative to clean it up?
Room
Like, speaking of Jordan Peterson, maybe someone should like do an initiative to clean it up.
How do you room?
Sorry, your ganges.
It's like Noah and the flood. If you just keep it building up, the problem gets bigger and bigger, and it's just too big.
And then you gotta ask yourself, what am I gonna do about that problem?
It just turns out that wasn't the case at all. Actually, people prefer having 6 wives. I know I would, actually, to be fair. It's like I understand that.
Yeah,
I have jeans. I'm wearing jeans, and you have 6 wives. Like, do you want to wear jeans or have 6 wives? He's gonna say I want to have 6 wives. Like, I don't think the argument's really there anymore either. Like, so that's where we're at. That's kind of where we're at, isn't it? So like,
that's where we're at. Serve the Kali Yuga. Rip.
Yeah, ripped. I reckon the Queen's not Chinese. I'm pretty sure the Queen's not Chinese. I hope the Queen's not Chinese. But like, it turns out we've been assaulted for decades, I guess.
Maybe that's why it must have turned out so weird, because you were watching a devil operate utensils at ass cheeks for formative years of your life.
Should we jump into it? Oh,
I guess so.
Yeah, that's it.
yeah. So March week 4. I think there's some good stuff in this one. Some good stuff.
So this is March 2021, right?
Yeah, March 2021.
So
Dr. Naomi Wolf sharing some misinformation.
Oh,
Dr. Jones, call me Dr. Jones.
Oh no.
I don't know how he finds the time. Dr. John Sims is also a carpenter, pizza delivery boy, and a cop.
Hello, Dr. Wolf. Huge fan of your work. Admire your outspokenness.
Outspokenness.
I have no idea who
Like-
this person is. I'm quite happy for him to be consigned to the canals of history.
Who?
Whoever that person is, that bold motherfucker.
You don't know who that is?
No.
You actually don't know who that is?
What is it, The Rock?
This should be under like the
Vin
top 10
Diesel.
things this guy is not in The Rock.
Vaccine Diesel. Vaccine Diesel.
I mean, he is rock hard.
No, he's not The Rock. He's not Vin.
Think about the middle tweet, the middle top tweet, and see if you can get it from that.
That makes me feel like he's not real. That tweet. Like, surely no one's
Well,
that.
he plays a lot of different roles depending on what the plot is.
It makes him sound like Jesus. Is it Jesus?
Yeah, Jesus was a famous pizza delivery boy. He died for your Johnny Sims.
Johnny Sims.
He looks healthy. I want.
Yeah, he does a lot of exercise. His job involves a lot of calisthenics.
Calisthenics, cardio.
Yeah.
You've got it yet?
Well, who he is?
Yeah.
No, I
What is
I
his
still
line
have
of
no-
work?
I go on, give me a clue. Give me a clue that's not like a cryptic clue.
It's acting, but it's not acting.
Is he? Well, he's one of those fake guys in Ukraine pretend to be bombed. He's a crisis actor. He's a crisis actor.
No, he's not a crisis actor. No, he is.
He used to have hair. He used to have hair before the Russians.
Weirdly enough, I've not seen any scenes with him having hair, and I have watched a fair amount of his material. Not for him, though, obviously.
Is he? But also, who's Cole McCarthy?
Oh, just a random.
He's not even blue checked.
He's not even
He
blue-
looks like a blue check, but not blue checked. He's got the suit and tie.
Have you seen a bunch of journalists getting really angry because they've all been labelled with Russian state media? I don't know what a red tag. I guess it's a red tag. They've been red tagged with Russian state media stuff. When I honestly believe some of them as well. I don't think they actually are, but like they've been labelled that, and it's ruining their lives. Which I enjoy that as well. I enjoy people struggling.
Okay, you've had too long to try and guess this. He's like basically one of the most famous male porn stars.
I think he's the most famous male porn star. I mean, who else is there?
No,
in the industry?
Rocco.
Okay, fine, Rocco.
Yeah,
okay,
Rocco's
sure.
a Freddy's the
Rocco.
most famous porn star.
Rocco's a franchise in himself, but like that's basically it. Maybe Mike Adriano. But
Is
he's
he a
like-
porn
like
star,
him
man?
too.
Man, I love porn. I have not ever seen him. What the fuck?
You definitely have.
You definitely have.
Well, I think the photo is wrong. It should be his cock, I guess. I guess the photo should be his cock there.
Right, bottom line, before this joke becomes unfunny, Dr. Naomi Wolf fell for a fake image of a porn star posing as a doctor. Moving on.
How Biden rattled Putin. Oh, what a take. Lol, weird, because the way I remember it, Putin responded and said, "I wish you good health, Joe." Wink, wink, and a day later, Biden's falling down some stairs.
This is like
Is that the
this
awful
person looks like.
Yeah.
This person looks like Woody Allen after 6 doses of the Pfizer vaccine.
He just needs 10 more. He just needs 10 more. He'll be okay. Woody Allen.
Okay, groomer.
41% of Democrats believe that it's a coin flip whether you're going to get hospitalized from COVID. Excellent.
It'd be nice if the actual... Oh, correct is 1 to 5%. Okay.
It's not as different as I thought it would be, I guess, but...
Even 1 to 5 is a bit disingenuous because it's basically 1, right?
Yeah, exactly. You just want 1 and 1.
Depending on the healthcare system in your country and all that jazz. Yeah.
Well, it's America, so...
So, I think
Depends whether you've got insurance or not.
it's like all the health workers and all the people aged like 18 to 28 on average in the US have become like super fat since lockdowns. And I just don't understand how anyone thinks that's okay compared to like I feel like thin the herd a little bit, both sense of the word, thin the herd, but making people fatter via lockdowns is not the way to. I've never understood. I've never believed or never read of a country making itself poorer for a health reason. I don't think those two things work together, right? Like if you're going to make everything poorer, then people are going to be more unhealthy. That's the fact, and that's what lockdowns did. And it made people fatter in the US as well. Didn't even know that could even happen, but it made people fatter. And here we are. And I guess there's quite a similar demographic agreement there.
It's made the next generation 20% dumber and 20% fatter. So everyone, pat yourself on the back. Give yourself a pat on the back, everyone.
Pat on the fat. Pat on the fat.
You are the future, the next generation.
Oh, this is when the Asian hate started kicking up again.
I swear that was only black people beating up Asian people, though. There was not a single report where I saw it wasn't just black gangsters in New York just beating up Asian people, and the same on the West Coast.
Yeah, there was a story of some kid from UCL, some Asian exchange student or whatever, getting beaten up in Oxford Street, but they never said who the attackers were.
That means they were black. That means they were black guys. I don't know why they were so angry. But I guess it's part and parcel of.
I mean, they're honorary whites in the CRT ideology, aren't they? So.
True.
Yeah. You're living in a white country.
They perpetuate white supremacy. Why Americans keep electing such ignorant joke into Congress? AOC talks like absurd, ominous clown.
This is the golden era of Chen WEIHUA. He is some absolute bangers.
Yeah. I've been following him for years, and I think he's the only person online who I've actually sort of felt warrants a little label of, hey, this guy has his own ideas. Or not his own ideas.
Oh my goodness, he's still tweeting. And he called Senator Ben Sass, Senator sucks nuts. And he said, Senator sucks nuts. He said the US should launch a massive information campaign. Haha. The US has been conducting massive information and disinformation campaigns, such as CNN. Oh, man.
Oh my god, parody video showing Trump knocking Biden down Air Force One stairs could lead to assassination attempt, MSNBC analyst says.
So, yeah.
Oh, and it's probably been scrubbed, right? Where can I find this?
What's the meme where it's like dun 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 dun?
I think it must have been one of those.
That's the best. That's the best thing he did there. It's like Biden. I agree with Biden back in the day where he thought women and black shouldn't have the vote. I understood him back then, but I just don't get him anymore. I just don't get him.
I missed the golden age of Biden.
The golden age of Biden was like 1850. That's how old he is. He's so old.
He has been alive. This is a sobering fact. He's been alive for 1/5 of US total existence.
Oh, and then what's this measure we got here? Strongest argument against aliens.
Camera resolution.
Are we going to talk about aliens? My God. I don't know how.
Oh yeah, because it was about this time they were wasn't it when the government said that we're going to release groundbreaking. Well, actually, no. What they did was they just said that a bunch of videos that already existed were in fact real in terms of they were actual military footage, which the media then ran with. Aliens are real, says Pentagon.
That was that's the whole point of this thing. Yeah, it was this time last year, wasn't it? Where they were probably leaning into it. There's a whole conspiracy theory about it being that the reason why there's so many UFO sightings in America is because they're not aliens, they're time travelers coming back.
Also, time travelers hate Europe.
No, they're coming back to stop the US from doing something terrible, and that's why you see more aliens in the US.
Time travelers be like, fuck Italians. No, Susan, I bear absolutely zero hate towards Italians. I love them. I love Italians to bits.
Merits of Stalinism. Oh, the pages are blank. What the fuck?
Cruel twist of fate for Mitt Romney, who froze his eggs in his bed.
Oh, that's good. That's so good.
Fiona has that fake smile. Poor Mitt Romney.
What about all the videos where it's like, this was Biden in 2012, this is him now. It's not the same person. Everyone keeps saying it's not the same person.
Ooh, maybe this person's a time-traveling Mitt Romney.
You must not do your own research when it comes to the science.
Mm.
That's the thing. That's the thing I love about talking to you. Beep is the fact that you are objective scientist. So I do.
We both are.
Huh?
So it's beep.
Settled.
You got little weird little magnet fetish. Like I don't know what you do with them, but like you do something with them that most people don't do with stuff like magnets. But
I mean, I work for Satan himself. So I work for Big Pharma. Well, Pharma.
Oh, I reckon Pharma with a bumper dum bum 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 Pharma. The bumper dum.
We're both more scientists than Bill Nye the Science Guy is.
Yeah, he only has like a master's in engineering. He's not even a PhD. Can you imagine?
Ugh. Bill Nye the Science Guy, the guy in the background of the bomb left meme.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but I guess that doesn't matter that much. I feel like at the end of the day, you are what you believe you are, and that's kind of the hellhole you're in at this point.
He identifies as a scientist.
I was gonna say this stream totally supports people exploring their own identities, even if that identity is a scientist.
That's a good segue into the next one. So, lockdown isolation helped Nathan, who's 19, come out as LGBT. I'll be coming out of this pandemic as a completely different person. Someone watched way too much porn.
I was about to say exactly that. Is it one of those things where like you watch so much porn that like your taste like change? You need to start looking for like more weirder and weirder stuff, and before you know, you're watching some like, Japanese porn featuring a lady stuffing an eel up her crotch and stuff, and you're like,
That's not gay though.
No, but you're fully right. You're absolutely fully right. It's basically either hyper narcissism to the point where you really believe that you love yourself this much that you can be in a relationship with a man or a woman version of yourself, or it is like an element of you either bloody abused as a child and you're confused now. It's either that or the narcissism, or it is internalized homophobia. I think it's internalized homophobia where you feel like you're not allowed to be gay. I think that's basically what it is. So all these gay guys are too scared to be gay because they probably have some puritanical American father who probably served in the wars and all that sort of jazz, and they can't really handle being gay, so they're like, oh, I can't be gay, but maybe I can be a lady, and that's kind of where it comes from, basically. There's all these little weird sort of like uber narcissistic tendencies, but that's where it all comes from at the end of the day. It doesn't matter, but like that's what it is.
True.
It doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, I've wondered like whether gay people just hypersexual. Because then I guess that's not true because some of them aren't, because they're just like normal people. But like, why are so many of them so hypersexual? Is it just because they're men? And because lesbians aren't hypersexual. Is it the maleness that makes them hypersexual? Huh?
Click the image I just sent, by the way. We might need adding to the presentation.
I was reading about lesbians having
Wait.
lesbians having
Where is it?
lesbians
In
having
the Zoom chat.
Oh, okay.
I was reading about lesbians having the biggest like divorce rate out of like any couples of people, and the whole article is in the Spectator as well. The whole article just didn't mention the fact that actually lesbian relationships have the highest domestic abuse thing. And they were just like,
Yeah, they love beating the shit out of each other.
they were just beating the shit out of each other all the time, and it just wasn't mentioning it. But like, lesbians have the biggest divorce rate now after they've been. Oh no, I hated that story, man. I hated that story so much. I felt so sad about that story. I felt fully sad about that story, man. Cruel Twisted Fate. Who the fuck? Where the fuck was that? What was? Who gave it that headline? My God, I felt really bad about that story, man. I was just like, oh fuck. Oh, that's a sad story. That's a sad story. That one, man. Like, there's so.
Let's move on then. This isn't a sad podcast.
The amount of women I know today who are just like, yeah, I don't want kids, and it's just like. Why? Like, and no one can give me a good reason why they don't want kids. They're like, oh no, overpopulation, all this sort of jazz. And it's like that stuff got disproven in like the 1800s. Like, why are you still
Malthus?
Fucking malfusing on about this sort of stuff? About no, it's not. It's because you're lazy. It's because you haven't. It's because you don't believe in yourself. Like, it's because it's sad. It's just so sad. And that lady that was like, I froze my eggs. I'm gonna become a. What did she become? She was something. She got a man's
CEO.
job basically. She got a man's job basically, and then she turned out that that corner shop that fixes smartphones, her eggs weren't good anymore. The place where she left her eggs weren't good anymore. That place went out of business, and she's fucked now. And it's like, why are you gonna be like that? Why are you gonna be?
It's a weird one because it's like people don't want to. There's this culture now of like, you can't get it wrong. Like, having kids is such a big deal that it's a massive risk, and you don't want to make any missteps. It's like inherently it's a risky thing, but surely risking like your ability to have children on whether this business survives 10 years or not.
Yeah, exactly.
The kid is more robust than a business.
Exactly.
Just have the kid.
Kids don't go bust unless you're fucking nons.
Oh, curses. Right.
Which one are you laughing at? Oh, you're laughing at your own thoughts.
Yeah, I'm not at my own fault, man.
The voices in your head. Is that Blue Yeti?
You're supposed...
Oh shit! I still haven't unpacked mine, and that's probably why I'm sounding like I'm from inside a well, because I still haven't unpacked my Blue Yeti with twisted monstrosity.
April's gonna be crisp because I'm gonna get my mixers on the way.
Oh, sick!
It's not a Blue Yeti.
Okay, what have we got on here? Let's just pick out a couple. Oh, what was the EU president called again?
Ursula.
Ursula von der Leyen.
Ursula.
She's still president?
Yeah.
So
Everyone's celebrating the EU response when under her, like, everyone bloody hated her to bits because the already diminished German force was literally making kits for pregnant ladies to go into the front lines and also practicing with broomsticks.
I remember that.
She was like a failed arms.
Exactly.
Arms,
you remember that as well. Yeah, you remember that. That was like 4 years ago. I remember reading that, and I'm just like, hey, fuck off! Like, trying to sort of like celebrate your whatever. It's like, no, you fucked it. Like, you fully fucked it already. I'm not gonna not remember that.
Well, at least she's not an alcoholic like the previous guy. What was his name?
You having a go at me?
No,
Donald Tusk.
No, not Tusk.
You what, mate?
Oh,
you
fuck.
what, mate?
What was that Luxembourgian alcoholic?
I don't actually know, but I would prefer an alcoholic to someone that doesn't do anything.
Oh, need to find him because there's this one footage where he was so absolutely blasted. Like he needed people to like.
Oh, I know you mean
Yeah.
the dude that we were all making fun of during the Brexit times. The French dude, the Luxembourgian, yeah. The
Luxembourgian alcoholic.
Oh, the
Jean-Claude Juncker.
Oh yeah, Juncker.
Drunker. I think it's pretty cool though. I guess Germany getting its act together and saying it's going to get its armed forces together and all that sort of jazz. I guess it's going to take like 15 years, so I don't know why everyone's celebrating it so much. But we're going to have the Nazis on side soon. It's going to be pretty fucking tight. Like they know what they're doing. I think those guys, like the Japanese, they have a pretty cool little military going. They're pussy whipped by their own history, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't have fucked with either of them.
Same.
The average strong opinion haver, Black Lives Matter, Israel. Oh no, anarchism's on there. The average disinterested party. Never heard of that. Who? Damn, that's crazy. Is that a computer thing? Sorry, I haven't been paying attention. Anyways, I have responsibilities to take care of.
Sorry, I should feed my cat.
2020, wear a mask, stand 6 feet apart. 2021, wear 2 masks, stand 3 feet apart. 2022, wear 5 masks and stand to the left. 2023, take it back now, y'all. 2024, cha-cha, real smooth.
It's quite a banger, to be honest. Not gonna lie.
White men getting radicalised by the left, blaming them for everything and calling them evil isn't a thing. That's on them. But if you criticise Islam, you're forcing Muslims to become terrorists. We're kind of done with calling. We're done with using Muslims now, right?
Well, I mean, now that we're praising Ukrainians for glazing their bullets in pig fat against the Chechens, yeah, I guess now it's cool again. I don't know. It's weird looking at all those political alliances, and I guess the stance of this podcast is, if the UK government wants to sympathise with Ukrainians who glaze their bullets in pig fat against Chechens, then this stream also supports that decision unconditionally. Whereas when I assume in a couple of months' time it becomes fashionable to hate them again, this stream will unequivocally stand behind the British government. Please don't jail us. Please don't put me in jail. Yes. We understand that we need to limit free speech to preserve democracy, and there's absolutely no contradiction in that statement either.
You're always going for the sponsors.
We don't have any yet, so we're good. We're golden.
Maybe we will now.
We can't get Raid Shadow Legends. That's reserved for vanilla content, I think.
That is democracy constipated. No, that's not the word.
These are potentially dangerous comments. There is no good evidence to doubt the efficacy of the AstraZeneca vaccine. Suggesting otherwise, as Macron and Merkel have done, has caused untold harm in France, Germany and elsewhere.
Yeah, and again, our stance is whatever the current stance is. Whether the vaccine is safe, dangerous, or dangerous, but it's a good thing. We're 100% behind that.
Who sent the CCCP GCSE Excel history thing? That's a jokes one, because I swear that's actually the name of the whole.
Why is the things in circle? Is that?
I think I was just sending it to you once, Ben, in a conversation. I was like, "Do you ever remember this guy?"
Yeah, I remember that guy. It's CGP, not CCP.
I remember these books just basically having sometimes off-fitting clip arts. Do you remember clip arts from the 90s?
Yeah.
Word. And these books would be stuffed with the gills to them, with a guy stretching his mouth to eat a hot dog or something. These incredibly cringy clip arts. Oh, those are the days.
Oh, that was when Milo came out straight.
And he had to overdo it in a truly. true Milo fashion, he had to overdo being straight. It's like he googled what do straight people wear, and it's like, right, that's what I'm gonna shoot for.
What was he wearing? What was the vibe?
I mean, before he was quite, I guess, flamboyant with his attire, like suits and fabulous hairstyles, garish colors. And now I don't actually know what he looks like now. He now says he's devoting his life to Saint Joseph. It says his vow of celibacy. Last time I checked.
Joseph.
So you're not with his big black husband anymore?
No, he's divorced them. Yeah, so the latest thing is like he's declared himself as ex-gay.
I love that. Is that allowed? I feel like that's not allowed.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's probably a joke in there about Richard Dawkins asking that famous question: "What is the penalty for apostasy in Islam?"
Yeah.
Oh shit! He was born in Chatham. That's practically on. That's practically on your doorstep. Where you
He's in Shana now. He's in Sharon. Inshallah.
What was that double mutant COVID they found in India? Was that just Delta?
Oh man, they went crazy over there. They were injecting old people, weren't they? They were chasing old people down the street and injecting them. And then all the footage was of like India, like in the Ganges with those dead bodies in it, and it was like, well, I know for a fact that's pretty normal actually. So don't get it twisted. I know that's exactly what they do all the time. So
yeah, it's part of the practice, right?
It's part of the practice. So that all the footage was like, oh yeah, look all these bodies in the Ganges. It's like that's normal. It's not a good country. Thanks for
the Ganges thing really does like you can be like the messiest person ever, and then you look at the Ganges and you're like, oh my goodness, like, do you know what I mean? Like my desk is pretty messy. Like, you know, occasionally there's like leftover food or something, but then like one look at Ganges and you're like, fuck.
I don't think Jordan Peterson's done any sort of speech there yet. Because I think
why hasn't there been like an initiative to clean it up? Like, speaking of Jordan Peterson, maybe someone should like do an initiative to clean it up.
How do you room?
Sorry, Ganges.
It's like Noah and the flood. If you just keep it building up, the problem gets bigger and bigger, and it's just too big.
And then you gotta ask yourself, what am I gonna do about that problem?
EU misdeeds on human rights.
Oh, of course.
Oh, okay. Chinese propaganda now claiming that Nazi Germany was part of the EU. Oh, that's like I mean, that so many people would actually go for that anyway. Like that's how bad the EU is that people would actually believe this.
I mean, this looks like something the EU put out.
I do want to like steelman it somehow. This argument, there's got to be like a way of putting it like, yeah, but you know, did Nazi Germany want a unified Europe? I mean, I guess they probably did under their own banner.
They did. What's the race?
English for the English, yeah. But the Holocaust wasn't about racism, was it?
That would be such a jokes poster to have on your wall. Right?
I am not opining on that. I'm limiting my free speech to protect democracy.
I kind of just want that poster on my wall just to alienate anyone that just doesn't get it. Like
someone comes in and you're like, "How'd you like my poster? It says the EU killed 6 million people." And you're like,
Have you seen the latest David Attenborough? It's like about plants, and they've made it really they made it really like dynamic and interesting because it's plants. But at the end, he just plugs a poster at the end of it, and it's the poster is all about like how humanity's shit or whatever. But it's the same font, it's the same style as that poster.
He's such a Trojan horse, that man. I fucking hate him. Everyone loves him, but he's a fucking dickhead.
Yeah, well, he
Oh,
wasn't.
so great. When you're about to die, it's like, well, everybody else should not live.
That's exactly
Great
his
name,
whole
that's
point.
my
Yeah,
voice.
that's exactly his whole thing. Is that he's really become a grumpy old man, I guess, is the politest way to say it.
Being fat doesn't mean that I'm not healthy or I'm not beauty like other girls. So if I want all men being 180 meters tall, 1 inch 80 meter tall with 1 6-pack, it's just normal. Learn to respect. Heart stops.
Chat heart.
A Parent's Guide to Supporting Transgender Youth. Listen to your kids, they know what feels right and true to them. Also, HuffPost, think twice before you cut off your dog's balls. There's a Vice article in there.
So I am going to be honest, I did have a period of mourning after I snipped my cat. I mean, I didn't do it personally, obviously, that would be barbaric. But I was kind of like, I do sometimes get thoughts like, what life would be like if you had your balls? Like, would you have like a little litter of your own? Maybe you should think twice before you cut off anyone's balls.
Team Fortress 2 hats, TF2 sats for sale. Altcoins, get your altcoins here. Very smart, great prices. NFTs. They really took off though.
Yeah, so it's like a classic. Everyone's laughing at the next biggest thing, right? People were like, back in the older days, it was selling RuneScape Gold, right? And even now it's still done to some extent, but people used to sneer at that, but you could make a lot of money with RuneScape Gold, and at one point RuneScape Gold was worth more than the Venezuelan currency.
I made £100 when I was like 15 on RuneScape. Yeah, I got some random dude gifted me like a Santa hat, and I ended up getting £100 and spent it on
drugs.
Yeah, drugs. Yeah.
Those Santa hats in RuneScape, they used to sell for a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the first thing, right? And then people jumped onto the next biggest thing, right? Then there was crypto. At some point there were also World of Warcraft gold and level boosting services until Blizzard basically started doing that themselves. I guess the point is don't hate on the next biggest hustle, right?
So that's the weird thing about it is there's so many advertising agencies now being like, oh yeah, we're in the metaverse, and they're basically just in Club Penguin. They're just basically oh yeah, we're in the metaverse, and they're literally just on an online World of Warcraft, RuneScape, Club Penguin vibe, and they're like, oh yeah, no, we're in the metaverse now. And it's just
Club Penguin vibe.
What the fuck are you talking about? This is definitely just Club Penguin. What the fuck?
plug Penguin.
Yeah, I'm gonna plug Club. But honestly, everyone's acting like the metaverse is something crazy big, and honestly, it's just companies getting involved in World of Warcraft or RuneScape or.
Yeah, and isn't that basically Second Life? Second Life used to be a thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Or Have a Hotel and all that sort of shit.
Oh, Have a Hotel. My goodness, that game. Yeah.
It'd be cool if in the future you could earn bitcoins through playing games and then spend NFTs across platforms. So you play RuneScape and then go buy fucking avatar clothes using your RuneScape gold. That'd be sweet.
Or a connection.
On one side,
together.
yes, but on the flip side, can you really make an economy out of that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the grand exchange in it.
You're gonna be the wagey making 3p an hour, grinding, I don't know, gold on WoW so that maybe in 15 years it will afford you a.
There is a test case for dismantling the Fed. You just have to remove the grand exchange from RuneScape, see what it does to the market, and that's probably what will happen in real life.
You just have to believe it.
I forgot about that whole shit, man.
You gotta do what? I gotta believe. Oh, that was a game. The rapper.
So I made a meme like this, which was the style at the time. Can't do a Abe impression.
Oh, I made a meme like this.
So I've got a meme. So I've got a meme like this meme. I don't know if I sent it to you, Joy, or I don't know who I sent it to. But my God, was it good? And it's like, so I cut off my balls because that was the style at the time, and it was him with like a fucking like pink haircut. I'm desperately trying to look for it right now because it just makes me chuckle. But like, yeah. Those grandpa Abe things are good. They're a good one. So I cut off my balls because it was a style at the time.
We got Rule 34 here, guys.
Oh, that was the heart of the Crystalia scandal. Okay, you're gonna have to explain this to me one more time. How is he not a nonce?
They were all over 18.
Okay, that's fair. And he never case of like a borderline case where the girl was like 15 or something, and he was like, okay, I'll talk to you in 3 years, and
I don't know.
Or was that someone else?
The only thing I saw of an underage person was like someone who had balloons, like a 16 balloon party on her Instagram, and as soon as he found out she wasn't 18, he was like, stop talking to her. It's like, nah, gotta be 18 to come to my show.
Because like sometimes you have these like borderline cases, which in my opinion are kind of scummy, where someone's like, okay, so you're like, I don't know, 16 or something, so why don't we just like chat for 2 years and then on and like, you know, platonically see each other and then jump to bed as soon as you turn 18, which is like basically
all rock stars in the 60s.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're condemnable in their own sense. That's a completely different ballpark.
Yeah, I think the sort of paedophilia stuff was to sort of stoke the flame, and it was very memeable because he played paedophiles in 2 different shows, so it meant it would be virally spread, I guess, and then...
I think he's typecast already. So.
I remember talking about this. This guy is so good at acting.
He's a method actor.
No, but it's the same with the Ukrainian president. Like he was an actor, wasn't he? He acted being a president, and then he's actually done it.
Oh, but he's just that. As you posted earlier, he's played the Havanegula on a piano with his feet.
Yeah.
Who's that about?
Oh, that's the girl who was shot during the Capitol riots.
Oh shit!
The only actual casualty on January the 6th, right? So
Yeah.
The only person who died was actually shot by a cop. Yeah, and yeah, I mean that's just, it kind of speaks for itself. The range is fuck.
People are still talking about that, like as if it's like a invasion, like what's happening.
Oh,
No, they're saying they're saying the Ukrainian situation is distracting from the real issue, which is January 6th.
Oh, but have you seen the one the Twitter comment, which is, it needs to be framed, but someone's like, watching Russia attack Ukraine was like seeing George Floyd died again. All his memories coming back. I was like, what?
Big boy Floyd.
There was another thing of what was it? An image of some saint that stood on Satan.
Saint
stood on Satan's neck.
Saint Michael.
Oh, you mean Saint Michael?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that people want it removed because it's bringing back, it's triggering people about George Floyd.
Come on.
Ugh.
I'm
Yeah,
very
I'm sure
happy.
it is.
I'm very happy to see a North FC meme at the bottom of this with French philosopher Michael Foucault abused boys in Tunisia. Nonce. That's the meme format I love the most. I
The North FCs.
North FC is the best one. North FC is the best one. And my God, Michael Foucault is the most what's the word? He's the most referenced person in all I guess. He's the most referenced paedophile in all of history.
He's the most referenced paedophile. He was the most referenced paedophile until 2019, where Jeffrey Epstein took the crown.
Nonsense.
I mean, didn't they all sign a petition? Wasn't there like I saw a meme earlier that was like, never ask. It was like never ask a girl her age, a man his salary, or your favorite French philosopher what petition he signed in the 50s. There's a fact. Basically all French philosophers signed a petition in the 50s to lower the age of consent to 13. And that's a fact. Google that. That's a quote.
Nonsense.
Well, it all goes back to Hegel, innit? You can't criticise your philosophical system if they can't even understand your philosophical system.
Okay, but isn't that Hegel basically, like, dude wrote an entire book about always taking the middle ground and then called that philosophy, right? He's like, oh, well, if one side says A, the other side says B, well, then why don't we synthesize when they say, call it C? Motherfucker wrote an entire book about that.
Yeah, it's so dumb. Like, the opposite of a narrative is usually another wrong narrative.
Yeah, there's no way to sort of like countermeasure it or.
Oh, that reminds me of a George Carlin quote where it's like the Democrats are evil, Republicans are stupid, and every now and then the government does something stupid and evil, and we call that bipartisanship.
White supremacy is when two black teenagers kill a Muslim man, 3 lives ruined, while white women, especially white women, emerge unscathed. Really makes you think.
What is this in relation to?
Can't remember.
Was this?
It must have.
I remember. It was a Muslim Uber driver, and there were 2 black girls who wanted to get out of paying the Uber fee.
That?
And so they stabbed him.
Yeah. Is that? Yeah. But the Holocaust was white on white crime, and so is Ukraine, Russia. So it's okay.
Oh, top middle was me just a minute ago.
Yeah,
trying to feed me that dialectical materialism.
What exactly is dialectical materialism? Because I see that reference in Marx, and
That's the thesis, antithesis, synthesis.
An Aryan child, force feeding an Aryan child.
So hang on. So, like, materialism is good, materialism is bad, and the synthesis is dialectical materialism.
It's neither good or bad, I guess.
No, dialectical materialism is just the name for that philosophical, epistemological framework of synthesis, antithesis, and then the materialism part is just that all conflict is based on material circumstance, not on any.
You should just cut that quote short and said all conflict is based.
Everything is about to get more expensive. It's a crucial next step for the US economy. That was a year ago. My God, we're so fucked.
Yeah, everything's getting more
good.
Sense. But now, have you seen the latest bait and switch? Is that we're fighting Putin? That's why everything's getting more expensive. Well, why was everything getting more expensive 6 months ago? We weren't fighting Putin then. Or were we?
Yeah.
Like 1984, we've always been war with Putin.
It annoys me a lot that everyone called me a bloody Nazi and all sorts for saying that, hey, if you really support the NHS, you wouldn't be supporting lockdowns because we won't be able to afford an NHS after lockdowns. And then suddenly we can't afford an NHS anymore. And everyone's like, oh my God, we have to pay more taxes. It's like, I don't know how else to say it. I don't know how to put it to you, but stuff's not free, is it? Like,
you were told 2 years ago by people who.
It's like the government's ending free COVID tests. It's like they were never free. They were just. Come on, guys. I'm pretty fucking stupid, and I understand the fact that someone's making something somewhere, happens to be China half the time, and someone's paying someone to do that. I get paid to do my job. Surely you understand that someone's getting paid to do their job.
You see, you're correct here, but there's this weird little thing called modern money mechanics, where the central bank says, int $1 billion in whatever programming language you use. And suddenly,
I do Austin Powers. I do Dr. Evil. That's the voice I put into my
$1 billion.
That's basically how central banks work. And then the central bank, after making int or float $1 billion, the $1 billion get given to, well, whatever the fuck they want, really. And then at the end of the day, you have to pay more for your groceries, but that's life.
Well, that is life, and it's definitely life now as well. But
especially now that inflation is 100% the fault of Putin and nothing else.
They don't like having two causal explanations for the same outcome. It can only ever be one thing at a time. It's like at the news cycle, it was like Brexit happened, so the news was Brexit. Then COVID happened, and it was COVID. Now Ukraine's happening, it's going to be Ukraine. Like, they don't think we're capable of thinking about more than one issue at any one time.
Yep. I mean, assuming that Ukraine doesn't, get us into World War II, III rather, which, up until like a few days ago, I'd say it was impossible, but now it's gone from impossible to just highly unlikely.
I reckon them joining the EU would be so good. I reckon that would really kick it all off.
I think Russia should join the EU. They should be like, if Ukraine's putting in an application, well, so are we. May the best man win.
Yeah, who do you want? Yeah, exactly. I'd love that. That'd be fucking
wicked.
Finesse. Yeah, wicked.
Undercover filming at a major UK COVID testing lab has revealed how poor working practice could lead to people getting incorrect test results. Do you remember that big Wolverhampton case where there was like tens of thousands of people who'd got false?
That was in October, right? And there was
probably that was this. Yeah.
Oh, that was after the summer. Yeah, and when they basically so that one was the opposite, because that one was people getting false negative results.
Yeah, my girlfriend's uncle is a chemical engineer, and he would always be he went to Russia quite a lot as well, but he would always be in a lab, and he'd be using the tests that we use now for COVID. And he said they were never suitable for mass deployment. They were always very much concentrated in the lab sort of vibe. And when you give it into the hands of just random people, they're probably gonna fuck it up, and it's not gonna really do anything at all.
Hit or miss. I guess they never miss, huh? Right.
Oh yeah, Lil Nas getting fucked by the devil.
I remember that controversy.
Wasn't really a controversy though, was it?
I mean, I guess the controversy is that it like peddled to children. I think doesn't Lil Nas isn't this music? Wasn't the thing that it somehow found its way to, or deliberately was given to
no, but
YouTube kids?
He's a gay guy. He's a gay guy flaunting blood.
No shit.
I think that was the thing. In the sense that perhaps gay blood is not the safest of bloods when it comes.
No, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. There was something about this Lil Nas X controversy. But there's something involving children. I think it wouldn't be such a big deal otherwise. Like it was marketed to children or something. That video, or
I think his tune was massively popular across all ages in stateside and all that sort of jazz, I guess. But I think it was actually the evangelical fifth column in the US. I think the US is still very, very religious, and that was a bit too spicy, even.
Perhaps, but also another thing is that I don't know if I've alluded to this earlier, but rap and hip hop, 20 years ago it was all gangster rappers, and now there's the dude rapping up being fucked by Satan. Like, somewhat of a tonal shift, you could say. Like, rappers these days just rap about, like, you know, being on Xanax and stuff, whereas, like, people 20 years ago, I guess this also reminds me of the what's it called, the Super Bowl halftime show, which was basically full of boomers rapping.
It was a boomer. It was definitely a boomer halftime show, wasn't it?
It was a complete boomer fest. But like, you know, these people would rap about being shot and shooting people back. I mean,
and they were doing
what
that
was
back
it?
in the day.
DMX was like openly homophobic in his songs, right? The song "Wada Huda" literally has lyrics like, "Cause you're all having sex with the same sex."
Yeah.
Right.
Dre,
like
big dicks in your ass is bad for your health.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So and obviously, you know, this stream is 100% pro LGBT, whatever other letters are added.
Pro West Coast.
Time.
Fuck East Coast. Fuck East Coast. We'll fuck those fucking bitches up their asses. Bad for them health. We're gonna fucking kill them.
But that's what rap used to be.
Murder.
And now it's gone to this, and obviously, you know, this is a completely value-free analysis. I'm not saying either of those is good or bad. But I am saying, how come the sort of rap community just allowed such a large tonal shift without being like, oh, hang on, that's not what.
Who's the guy? Who did Orange? What was that? Frank Ocean. Frank Ocean was the guy that did it. Frank Ocean changed the game. Cause he did absolutely solid tunes, and he kind of sort of paved the way for Kendrick Lamar after that. But he kind of like
wait, no. What about Drake? You could argue that Drake was the pioneer of soft rap, right? Because he would actually he was the first person to make rap songs about heartbreaks and stuff. No.
Yeah, but I think
that is gay.
I think it was exactly. It was a gay thing for him to do.
It's a simple diagram, right? Gangster rap. Drake makes a song about heartbreak. Little Nas X getting fucked by Satan. What can't you understand? Yeah.
He's still alive though. I thought he died, but he had a stroke maybe a year ago now. I feel like maybe even longer. Dre or someone. They all started having strokes, but I guess he did halftime show, so I guess it's okay.
Drake? Oh no,
Dre. Don't know what's going on.
Yeah, no, I was talking about Drake, the famous Canadian rapper.
Oh, you talking about Drake?
Yeah, so that's what I think it all started with Drake.
Oh yeah, he made it. He definitely made it gay. Yeah, he 100% made it gay. Yeah. I haven't forgotten about Drake. He was gay as the day is long, man. And also, he put Toronto on the map, which I guess is quite nice.
Oh yeah, I'd never heard of it before.
Well, but in general, come on.
Small town person from Toronto. Oh, hang on, did we miss something?
I haven't even looked at. I haven't looked at.
Oh yeah, just the Kali Yuga.
Yeah, the hard times create strong men create good times.
Apparently, yeah, and just as a side note, apparently every 80 years you have a full turning. So the last hard times were World War II, and then that bred the boomers, which were the weak men, and now we're having the hard times.
That's pretty accurate, though, isn't it? I show me the lie there. I don't know when that's. I don't know when that's never been true. I don't think I.
Yeah, that's. I mean, so according to what's it, Vedic literature, this has been cyclical for thousands of years.
Well, which literature? But I agree with the cyclical.
Like ancient Hindu texts, describing their history and stuff, and even if you go into Viking writings and even some of the Roman stuff, this shit apparently genuinely has been happening for thousands of years.
So wait,
more like a ratchet than a cycle.
What was the thing we watched yesterday that you put forward? Not David Irving.
David Starkey.
David Starkey, thank you. Yeah. His whole point about the aqueducts and all that sort of stuff, and how we've just we've cut off our own aqueducts for no apparent reason, really, apart from just feel good about ourselves.
Oh yeah, it was the same thing in Rome, right? They were like strong, and then they got really lazy. They stopped maintaining the aqueducts, and then Rome fell.
And then
it was exactly that.
Yeah. So I do believe that is what's happening fully in the West, because I feel like what I say to everyone is that you can't ever have. This is very basic stuff, but I always say you can't have soft power without hard power, and we gave up on the hard power a very long time ago, and our even our soft power now is just self-hating nonsense. So it really galvanizes anyone who would like to attack us, because why not, right? Because we all hate each other anyway. And we don't actually have anything to stop them doing it anyway. So I love that. I love what you were saying yesterday, because it's fully true, and it's so obvious all the time. It's so clear.
Yeah, all of our elites are foxes now. I think I had this discussion with that, like elites are usually like a good mix of lions and foxes. Lions who use like actual power, like they will actually like not hesitate, like get police to fire at you, or sometimes even do it themselves. And foxes who will use things like persuasion, legislature, lawfare, and at the moment, basically all the elites. And whenever it comes to foxes using hard power, they're completely inept at it. Like when Trudeau sent the police force
failed,
after
didn't
the
he?
truckers.
He failed. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. So foxes are completely inept at using hard power. They only know how to use soft power, and it's really unhealthy for the society if your elites are like 100% foxes or 100% lions. If your society is 100% lions, like Stalinist Russia, right, then it's just persecution and oppression, right? Everyone getting gulagged. So you need like a mix of hard and soft power elites.
And
that's a broader discussion.
So our approach to the world would have worked if our values had completely overlapped the world, and the whole world was our values. But it isn't that. So that's the problem. So like we've kind of rested on our laurels, and I agree that our values are the best values. I fully believe that. But we rested on our laurels before we convinced or forced the rest of the world to do said laurels, said values.
Said values, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we'll ever get there, but that was kind of like the impression that we all, when we were growing up, the impression that we were all given was that oh, this is the values that everyone's going to love, and they're going to really like it, and if they don't like it, we're going to force it into them, and they're going to love it even more. And it just turns out that wasn't the case. It just turns out that wasn't the case at all. Actually, people prefer having 6 wives. I know I would, actually, to be fair. It's like I understand that. But I don't know why we thought that everyone was going to be like well up for that. Especially now when everyone's like, oh yeah, men are terrible. But like, you know what I mean? Like, our soft power is so negative now that I don't understand who, even without the hard power that we don't have, I just don't understand who else would actually like take it up as like, oh yeah, this is me now. Yeah, this is me. I'm living in Yemen, and I'm gonna tell my best friend who has 6 wives that you shouldn't do that. Like, who's gonna be able to do that? It's not.
Yeah,
I have jeans. I'm wearing jeans, and you have 6 wives. Like, do you want to wear jeans or have 6 wives? He's gonna say I want to have 6 wives. Like, I don't think the argument's really there anymore either. Like, so that's where we're at. That's kind of where we're at, isn't it? So like,
that's where we're at. Serve the Kali Yuga.
That's where we're at. But that's the one good thing about the war, is that it's kind of like snapped us out of our little fugue state.
Yeah, but that COVID did that for about 2 weeks, and
no,
then
COVID
everything
did
went
not
back
do
to
that.
normal.
COVID was the opposite. COVID was literally, I've never been more depressed in my life. I've never been more angry at people. I always thought we were better than Chinese people. I thought Chinese people were ants. I thought Chinese people were literally like dust on my foot, and I thought the UK would never be anything like that. And then it took 3 weeks to flatten the curve, and it turns out we were all Chinese. Like, it really that was the one thing that freaked me out the most. That was the one thing that really left a bad taste in my mouth, and I realized that actually Chinese people are human as well, and we're all and we're also human, and my god, that bummed me out. My god, that bummed me out. I thought we were different to the Chinese, and then it turned out we weren't.
Ripped.
Yeah, ripped. I reckon the Queen's not Chinese. I'm pretty sure the Queen's not Chinese. I reckon. I hope the Queen's not Chinese. But like, I feel like she would have also been part and parcel of not locking people into their homes. I reckon the Queen was against it. I'm also a massive royalist, it turns out, I guess. But I don't think the Queen was up for it. But I didn't think Boris was going to be up for it either, to be fair. And then he was. So
he got rattled though, didn't he?
Yeah, because he was fat. And also, who's the World Economic Forum guy? Karl Schlotz, or whatever his name is.
Klaus Schwab.
Schlotz, yeah, and he's Schlongs.
Santa Claus.
Yeah. Santa Claus. Oh man, yeah, no, it's all awful. And all the stuff I thought we were resistant to, turns out we're not. So I have no idea what it is, but I hope COVID, which I don't think it has done, but I hope maybe war in Ukraine will put globalization to bed. Because I don't think it's been good for everyone. Basically, I don't think globalization's been a healthy avenue for culture. I think it's made a lot of people depressed and cynical and quite sad and alienated from their general local lives. And I think the local life is probably more important than anything else at the end.
Yeah, in a way, there is a certain I don't know, Lives of the Hobbits in the Shire has got a certain amount of charm to it, right? Where you just kind of.
Well, they're black now, aren't they? They're black now. Have you seen the trailer for the? They're in the hood. Hobbits in the hood. Hobbits in the hood.
Well, it's about trying to grow the biggest pumpkin or having the fattest pig, and that's your that's your aspirations in life, right? But because you just don't know anything else, right? But at the same time,
fat stacks in the Amazon one, it's fat stacks. It's just fat stacks.
In the Amazon world, it's
the one bling,
the Weiji KG. Have you seen the Weiji KG? It's a patent for basically locking Amazon employees. A patent that Amazon filed for basically locking its employees in a Faraday cage where you wouldn't be distracted. So it just completely blocks everything out, and you're.
Yeah, I saw this. This is dark, man. This is like a little dark little It's like a scream chamber.
Yeah, basically.
A suicide booth. There were suicide booths in Switzerland, right? That's what they were. Someone got a patent for.
You get all the images if you like. If you Google images, wage cage. Oh.
I love how everyone's calling all the real hardcore Tolkien fans who love Lord of the Rings and love the similarity and all that sort of shit. All the side nerdy stuff. Everyone's calling them a racist now, and it's so obvious that they knew that this was going to happen because all the articles appeared the next day after the trailer. After the Amazon trailer dropped, I was really happy about Amazon spending $1 billion on a Lord of the Rings thing because I love a bit of Lord of the Rings. I was well happy about it, and then the trailer dropped, and then suddenly all these articles from the Disney Amazon machine just turned up immediately the next day, calling all the Lord of the Rings fans racist. And it's like you obviously had
everything I expected.
You obviously had this in the bank, ready to go because you knew you were going to piss off all these people.
Classic play. It's like a classic play-by-play. We've seen this 1,000 times already with all the different fandoms. We've seen this with He-Man, the latest one. We've seen this with Star Wars. We've seen this with Star Trek, in fact. We've seen this with
And the Powerpuff Girls, as seen on the screen now.
Oh, segues very, very nice segue into the Powerpuff Girls, where Professor Utonium is now.
What happened
by
to
Dr.
what happened to Power Cup? Mumbo Jumbo. Who was the monkey guy?
Mojo Jojo.
He was a good
No.
baddie.
Oh, the one that was so weird for me was the devil, because he was like so camp, and I was like, what is his deal?
What was it called?
Well, he's now.
It was
a
Cow and Chicken. It was in Cow and Chicken. It was in Cow and Chicken. It was in Cow and Chicken. Cow and Chicken. He was the main baddie. He crossed the two things, didn't he?
Oh, so Cow and Chicken. That devil also scared me.
Oh, him. It was called.
Because you could always see his butt, and he always used to do things with his butt. He would like pick up utensils with his ass cheek.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very unnerving to my 10-year-old.
Yeah, it turns out we've been assaulted for decades, I guess.
Maybe that's why
really
millennials have turned out so weird, because you were watching a devil operate utensils with ass cheeks for formative years of your life.
But I hated it, man. I didn't care so much. I don't care about a black elf or an Asian dwarf. I don't really care about that much. But I care about Galadriel being for some reason made a warrior woman when in the book she was never that. I don't care. I don't care about what they look like. I do to an extent, but when you make Galadriel, who never fought in any war, she was always like an advisor lady. When you start making her, when you clad her in armor and like make her like the main thing with an explosion in the background, like it's fucking like I don't know, like bloody
Because it also kind of ruins Lord of the Rings, doesn't it? Because in Lord of the Rings, she specifically decides to stay out of it. Like, with that being part of the reasons, right?
Well, exactly.
Then,
so
if
you
watch Lord of the Rings
you're
now,
getting that immediately, and I feel like most people who even watch those three films without reading anything would understand that, and yet it's
a retcon. It's a total retcon. They've ruined Lord of the Rings.
For some reason they had to do that.
It's such a retcon.
For some reason,
like imagine you watch it, and then you watch this, and then you Frodo comes in to Galadriel. And he's like, "Can you help us?" The guy is like, "Best I can do is like give you these magical items." And Frodo's like, "Bitch, like in the last age, you was wielding a sword and like kicking ass."
Yeah, exactly. And then just the bloody offensive that they went on, calling all these Lord of the Rings fans racist. It's just like, you a bunch of scumbags. You're just a bunch of scumbags. These guys are a bunch of nerds, and they haven't gone for Gamergate or any of that sort of shit. But these guys are just nerds. Leave them alone. Come on. I'm not okay. I'm okay with people bullying people. I'm not okay with people bullying nerds, and that's what they're doing. They're bullying nerds for some reason into submission, which they're not gonna. Which luckily they're not gonna. They're standing up and saying, "Hey, no, this is just factually incorrect to the whole thing." So. Good on them, but my God, the war machine that was already prepped for as soon as they release a trailer is just embarrassing.
Yeah, exactly.
They knew they were doing a bad thing.
No, I think that was. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that was even the plan, because like it's worked to an extent in the past.
I wonder if they're gonna make their billion. I wonder if they're gonna make their $1 billion back.
I mean, they'll make it. It's an odd question to ask, or try to rather, answer, because they make their money through like Amazon Prime, subscriptions, right?
So it's less direct than that, isn't it? Yeah. It's not seats in the cinema. It's not bums in the seats. It's
They get paid based on views, though. Do people have deals like that with like Netflix and stuff? Like you get.
So it costs Amazon Prime $1 billion to make this Lord of the Rings series, which I was very excited about. I thought they were going to do a good job. I didn't think they'd have the gall to just completely dick on all the nerds.
Yeah, why would you piss off your fan base like that?
I don't know. That's what I don't understand the long-term goal. I think they're so I think they're so comfortable in the sense, and I think this is actually true, that people value convenience over any sort of morals. Yeah, that's what it ends up being. People just value convenience over anything, which is sad, I guess. But there's quotes in every. I think I sent it to you. I think I sent you the trailer, and I showed you all the quotes in all the different languages talking about talking about how, like.
Was it all in Elvish?
No, it was all in Russian and Ukrainian and.
No, that was Elvish, wasn't it?
No, Slavic languages. It was, yeah, but they really love it. They do in from what I've gathered over the years anyway. They really love that shit in Eastern Europe and the Slavic nations. They love Tolkien a lot over there.
Oh mate, look how badly this one aged. Dorsey entered last week's congressional hearing and said, "I don't deserve the power to censor. You don't deserve the power to censor, and I'll do everything I can to make sure no one ever has this power again. It was unexpected and amazing." Full recap. How many months later he resigns and new guy comes in and starts censoring?
and I mean, even that speech was just complete bollocks. Like, you know, it's one of those things we tell ourselves. I don't deserve the power to censor, but as it turns out, you know, a whole fucking load of asterisks next to that phrase.
We're looking at you claim to support free street. What were we looking at?
We were looking at top left, but the bottom middle kind of goes with it. You claim to support free speech and oppose censorship by big tech. Beyond no different from a monopoly who deplatforms people completely because you don't allow me to reply guide to you.
Yeah, I'm definitely on the right hand side. I'm on the 140 IQ side of things here.
I'm always in the middle. Whenever you put these things up, I'm always whack in the middle. It's a bit embarrassing for me.
See, you're midwit.
My housemate and I, 19 to 20-year-old females, just discovered that our trans housemate, 22 male, has been making tea out of our used tampons because he can't afford hormonal pills. We don't feel safe and want this person gone.
Oh, you know, this
you reap what you sow, guys. You reap what you sow.
I am so upset by this now. I'm like unbelievably upset.
Does that work? Is there any basis in biology?
I mean, menstrual blood will have estrogen. We'll have all the female hormones. I guess the question is it going to have it in high enough concentrations? Oh, that's disgusting. Goodness.
Yeah, let's not dwell on that one. Okay, last one. This is the last one.
Is that it? Do we not have anything else in there?
The wall of suicide ward I'm in says trans rights.
I mean, that account, I gotta say, got yeeted by Twitter.
Did it?
Because, yeah, unfortunately.
It's amazing you can be yeeted for literally just reposting other people's shit.
Yep.
Oh yeah, this is when I was tracking people dying of hunger and how it was massively outstripping COVID, yet there's no response to try and prevent those deaths.
Man, and then also all the money that we spent on the whole lockdowns and all that jazz can't actually be... well, we're poor now, so we can't actually help these poor nations.
Yeah, so by the end of March, 2.2 million had died from hunger, and by that point, the entire COVID, so what, a year and a few months, the deaths were 2.8 million, so a comparable number of deaths over a year versus 3 months.
What was the whole thing that people attacked the Tories for? It was like, what's the word for it? Where
whataboutism.
Where they were holding the money back for 9 years or whatever. Within 2 weeks of COVID lockdown, that money that everyone was complaining about for the past 10 years had already been spent on lockdown.
Yeah.
It was immediately apparent that there was so obviously not a viable way to do stuff, and if you really supported something like the NHS, you would not support lockdowns, because honestly, it is ripe for takeover now, because one, it didn't do a very good job, but two, there's no money there to even back it up. Even like it's fucked now. Like it's all. It was all very...
Yeah, but that's been the story since its inception. So
So
Don't underestimate people's power to continue to throw money down that hole.
what did David Starkey say in that thing? Jackie was saying about how 80% of our taxes go to yeah. They go into
they nothing productive basically.
Exactly, yeah. So it goes into welfare state and NHS, and the 20% is all they have left. And so he described it as a nation that is a welfare thing with a tiny government sort of vibe.
Yeah,
that was
that's basically it. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. But praise the NHS. Come on.
Praise the NHS. Clap everyone.
The New York Times is doxing jurors now.
Oh, that was the Derek Chauvin trial, wasn't it? That's when we entered the Derek Chauvin trial. With hindsight, there was probably no chance he was going to walk.
He hasn't missed much, has he? So he's actually been chilling in prison, I guess. So he hasn't really missed much.
How long did he get in the end? Was it like 30 years or something?
I think it was like 30 years. It was like a lifetime thing, but like half.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that trial, like, waiting to see anything about, because people were saying, like, oh yeah, he was a massive racist. There was all this stuff about him knowing George Floyd, how they used to work together, and I was like, is that going to come up? And it didn't come up at all. It was literally just going through fucking police policy crap.
Yeah, because he was like a security guard somewhere in Florida once, ages ago, at the same time as him or something, right?
Yeah. It was the same prosecution as the Kim Potter case, and they fucking put her away as well.
Oh yeah, they did. I thought she was gonna walk. As a side note, Sam Hyde completely predicted this.
That one.
Yeah, that was awful, man. I felt so sick when I watched that.
Yeah.
I mean, so the sad thing is that had she not said deploying taser, she probably would have walked.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing was that she meant to deploy the taser. Obviously, you know that because she said deploying taser and instead deployed her gun, fatally shooting the guy. But if she just said nothing and just deployed the gun, she probably would have got away with it. I mean, the whole thing is a tragedy anyway. Yeah.
Most of these things are just tragedies. But half the time, I fully believe that you kind of when you I've been punched in the head multiple times. I've been in hospital multiple times. I've been arrested multiple times. Spent days in jail in Texas multiple times. And I know for a fact that when these bad things happen to you, you've kind of put yourself in the situation for these bad things to happen to you. And I don't really think that the person reacting to you being a dickhead should really be liable for this stuff. That's my sort of process after being jailed here in the UK and in Texas and punched in the head multiple times. I do feel like I feel like it's an impossible situation for these people. If it comes down to, I don't know how I would do my job if I felt like I was going to get arrested the next day because of doing my job. I don't know how I would ever do it. And I don't know how society would function without people being able to take a risk on that.
I mean, yeah, you can see how American cities are currently doing. If you want an update on that, right? With the
I don't envy. After being arrested multiple times, I had a hate for police when I was a teenager. And when that sort of stuff happened, I had a little hate for police, and it was silly things that happened for. But like I had a strong hate, like, oh, fuck the police. But honestly, like I don't like to think that I feel like police not being able to do their job is a much worse position than me not getting in trouble because I'm drinking or getting high and getting caught with weed and stuff like that. I feel like the police being able to do their job is probably more important than me being able to dick around and get whatever it was.
They did their job for the past 2 years, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, would you like to respond to that with your police?
Oh, do you hate? Well, I guess you must. Yeah.
Wants to defund the police.
I want to replace it with the
Community support.
yeah, no, with RoboCop.
Oh yeah.
But every time I end up staying in a jail cell in multiple countries, it was always fine. Like, it was always like
You make it sound like a
nice.
hobby for you.
Well, I live in Texas for a year, and they're proper militant there. They're proper
Like
on
you're
arresting
testing out
people.
Airbnbs.
They're proper on arresting people over there. When I was a teenager here, it happened. It happened in Italy and in Portugal, and every time it's really bad until you get into the place, and then it's kind of fine. Like they're kind of they're just doing their job or whatever. But like when I was in Texas, for example, like everyone there, everyone in the jail was like, "Oh my god, where the fuck are you from?" Whatever. But like they all knew the people that had arrested them. That was the weird vibe. So that you go sit in front of the judge would be doing like a Zoom call. This is like 2011, so Zoom call is pretty new. They would be like doing a Zoom call to everyone, giving out the same sentence to all those people that were in the room. But there'd be one police officer there, and then everyone would know each other. The police officer would be like, "Oh, hey, dude, what are you doing here again?" Like, "Oh, Pablo." Like, "Oh, man, good to see you, man." Like, "How's your mom?" Like,
choosing a Hispanic name.
It would be absolutely bonkers, but they were nice at the end of the day, and I wouldn't want a world without. I know I definitely would, because you believe in the power of people. I think a bit more than I do.
No, I just don't. I don't want people who like. I'm not opposed to security and
default damage. The people.
I just don't want state police.
Oh, that is a tune. What happened to that tune?
What's that? That sounds like a good tune. What is state police?
No. Power to the default damager. Power to the people. Back once again with the renegade master.
Oh yeah,
Default damager.
People down with the ill behaviour.
Back once again with the renegade master. That's a big one.
Well, we're at the end now. I've got to go. Got to get to work.
Well, that last week in March was great. I like that.